Hello friend, this is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about stopping the worrying about what other people's opinions are of you, what they think about what you're doing or how you're acting, unless you're doing something wrong, of course. But don't be worried about other people's opinions. Don't be concerned about them. Just trust in the Lord. If you're doing the right thing, your faith is in God, you're trusting in Him, you're walking in the faith of God, you're living by faith, not by sight. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks about you. Their opinions mean nothing. They're irrelevant. And actually, they're beyond irrelevant because many times they're harmful to you if you give any heed to them. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 25 says, "The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe." And when you're worried about the opinions of others, you're changing your life or behaving a different way because what others may think about you, that's the fear of man. You are afraid that they may not approve of you. You're afraid that their opinion might be negative towards you. And here is a newsflash. There are going to be plenty of people who have negative opinions about you no matter what you do. There are people who are just negative in general, so they're going to find some fault. They're fault finders. That's all they'll do is find something they don't like about. It could be the way you walk, it could be the way you dress, it could be the way you speak, it could be the fact you don't use profanity. I've had people, "Well, why don't you use profanity? What are you, a goody two-shoes?" It could be your accent, it could be whatever. Your education level, the fact that you have a good education and the fact you don't. They are going to find some fault with you, and being concerned with their little trivial opinions is completely a waste of your time, and worse yet, it's detrimental to you. Because you are now living your life for the approval of man, not the approval of God. God who already approves of you. He's blessed you and graced you with His presence in your life. He's already approved of you. That's the one whose opinion you should be caring about. Not these men who worry about trivial endeavors. They babble about the news of the day. They talk about this over here and that over here. They talk about other people instead of talking about important ideas, businesses they're coming up with, this idea they had to solve this problem in the world. Those are the things you want to be talking about, and those kind of people are the people who you want to associate with. You don't want to associate people who only have doom and gloom, who only have the news of the day to talk about. They're virtually just following a script. Whatever the news media tells them, or the government tells them, or this trusted source tells them, that's what they blindly follow. No thought, no consideration for the matter. You know, in recent times, there have been issues going on in the world, and you see just infinite support for one side of an issue. But that's what happens when you get concerned with the opinions of man. Instead of choosing and considering a matter, you blindly go in one direction because everybody else is doing it. You're just following the pack. No thought, no consideration, and that's not the kind of person anyone should want to be. No one should strive for that, to be a conformist, to be a blind follower of the blind, because you're both being led into the ditch. And that's one of those things that is a fool's errand. When you're presented with two sides of an issue and you think you have to choose one of them. No, maybe there's more options. You're just getting two, maybe there's 3 or 4 or 5 different options that you could choose from. Maybe both of those options you've been presented are wrong. But you'll never know that if you're just going with the flow and just doing what everybody else is doing, following what everybody else is, because you're afraid that they might not approve of you. Who cares? Your approval comes from God. That's what's important. Your trust is in Him. You're not trusting in man. You're not making flesh your arm. You are focused on the goodness of God. You thoughtfully approach issues. And rather than get bogged down in the trivial matters of the world and their news and babbling and gossip and all this stuff, you are focused on solutions. You're focused on providing more value in the world. You're focused on being more productive. You're focused on doing all things unto the Lord. And the reality is, that's going to get some criticism. Jesus said, marvel not that the world hates you. That's the reality. Jesus said that the world will hate you, and they hated him first. Marvel not that the world hates you, my friend. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's going to hate you. There's a wide variety of people out there. Some people will like you. Some people will approve of you, even when you're doing things that they're not doing. Many people won't. That's all right. You're not concerned with what the world thinks. And you're not concerned with what worldly professing Christians think. You're not even concerned with real Christians and what they think. Not that you don't value people's opinion, but in the end, your approval is coming from the Lord, and that's where your trust is. If someone has constructive criticism that's valuable and adds to your life and edifies you and causes you to solve and resolve an issue that you didn't even know existed, or maybe you did know and they helped you, that's good. But you're not doing it because you're afraid of their opinion. You're not heeding their advice because of fear that they may not approve of you. You see the value in their idea. You see the value in what they're bringing to you. And rather than be puffed up in pride and think that, well, I just got to do what I'm doing, you see they have a valid point. You take that under advisement, you incorporate that into your life, and you become a better person. But you never want to do things because other people don't approve of what you're doing. Other people don't like it. They want you to be doing something else. How often do people say, well, you're being selfish when you're doing something productive and doing something in business? And the reality is, they just want you focused on them. Because they're so self-absorbed and so selfish, the fact that you're not focused on them 100% of the time causes them to lash out at you and say that you're selfish. And truly a delusional state of mind. And you don't want to follow those people. You don't want to be worried about what their opinion is. The only thing they'll lead you to is worshiping them, to looking to them, to have your trust in them, to always be catering to them. And that's no way to live. You weren't put here to cater to other people. You are put here to love your neighbor as yourself. You are put here to add value to the world. You are put here to be productive, but not to blindly follow men. My friend, we bring love to the world. We bring light. We are lights, the light of Christ that we bring to the world. We're ultra productive. We're ultra successful. We know the goodness and grace of God, and we shed that abroad to others. We know His love that's in our hearts. But we never do things for the opinion of others because they may approve of us or because they disapproved of something we did. So we got to change what we're doing. No, my friend. In the end, your focus needs to be on God. Your trust needs to be on God. His approval, His opinion of you is what matters the most. And when you do that, everything else will fall in line. You'll start attracting better people into your life, those people that want you to do everything for them, those people that are only focused on themselves, those people that don't care about anybody besides themselves, those people that only want to drag you down. They will naturally fall away from your life, and you will attract better people, godly people, good people who want to edify you in the faith. They don't want to tear you down, and they don't want you following them. They want you looking to God. They want you focused on the Lord. They want you trusting in Him. And those people will edify your life, and you will edify theirs. Everybody will benefit. Everybody's lifted up. Everybody is glorifying the Lord. So my friend, stop worrying about the opinions of others. Trust in God. I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.